Parent Entrepreneur Power, conversation number 211.
Parent Entrepreneur Power.
Wait, what? It's Power!
This is the podcast for parents juggling the tough choices required for success in business while putting family first. Hi, I'm Mary Kathryn Johnson, and I share the ups and downs and dirty truths of profits and potty training while chatting with successful parent entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Are you powered up? Hey there, Power Parents. Guess who? Mary Kathryn Johnson, MKJ here, and welcome back to another episode of Parent Entrepreneur Power. If you didn't know, that was the show by Mr. Joey Kornman and his beautiful, adorable, gorgeous little daughters showing you, or at least telling you in the beginning of this episode. I just can't get rid of that. It's just too fun. Even though they're, my goodness, getting quite big, a couple of years older than that now. All right. So if you're joining me here, you are welcomed to the second episode in the Power Parents in Business series. And I am very glad you're here. I hope you found value in the first episode where we talked about kind of how to discover as quickly as you can what you offer and sell. So hopefully you found value in that, because I'm going to pick up that ball and keep running with it in this episode, which is how to iterate continually until you have a core product or service that is selling consistently. Okay. And I'm going to go back to the first business I started, like I referenced in this first episode of this series. And I'm going to, of course, reference the business I'm in now, Messenger Funnels. So hang on, because I'm going to get into some details that I hope will really help you figure out how you can really just double down on that core product or service and get it perfect and selling consistently, because basically you've hit exactly what it is people need from you. All right. So you're ready for this? Let's do it. All right. So as promised, I'm going to start with Mommy Loves. And I got to tell you, I pretty much almost iterated myself into bankruptcy with that one. So I learned a lot of lessons, and I hope I can transfer some of those lessons to you and help you not make some of those mistakes. So much of what we do in business really has nothing to do with business itself and the details of what's right or wrong, or you should do or shouldn't do. It really is our own stuff, our own head, our own ideas, our own fears. And that's really how I've evolved since 2003 when I started Mommy Loves. So basically, let me just tell you really quickly how that worked. I had a product where I created novelty maternity shirts. I put cute sayings and fun sayings on the belly and chest of maternity shirts. And this was the first maternity store online in 2003. And it was going great until 2008. So I basically had blank shirts made. I manufactured them down in LA in a fashion manufacturer, and they shipped up to me all the blanks. And of course I had to buy in bulk. And then I created the designs. I printed the designs with archival inks, with specifically fabric inks, and then I heat pressed them into the fabric so that it wasn't peeling off. It wasn't, I used some vinyl in the very beginning, but then I switched to printed inks so that it actually fused in with the fabric. So it was really cool. I tried some really fun things and got some great results and great feedback from customers. But when the recession hit, I really didn't go to my customers and ask them what they wanted or ask them what they needed. Anything different than I already knew, just providing the shirts that I had designed. So I stayed in my own head. I basically tried to think, what can I do? What can I do? Maybe I should just add this. Maybe I should try a whole new line. Maybe I should do, and of course, here's where my biggest mistake was. I basically said, why don't I come out with a high-end line? And I got into Swarovski crystals. Not the fake stuff, not the fake little crystals, but actual Swarovski crystals from Switzerland. And those are not inexpensive. Let's put it that way. They're crystal. So they're beautiful and sparkly and just gorgeous. And I had designs made, and I had to actually order them from Swarovski and in bulk again. So I had a high-end shirt made and a high-end design. And this shirt basically was upwards of $45, $50 to sell. And we're in a recession, people. I mean, where was my head? Basically, that's where it was. I was only in my head. I did not look around. I did not try and figure out or ask or really educate myself as to what was happening. I just panicked. And that panic led to me creating something that was the opposite of what people needed, truly. And luckily, I didn't go too far down that path, but I either did the high-end shirts or I just threw more money at advertising. And neither of those things worked. Income went down, down, down. Every year, it cut by half. And that just was not a good thing. So finally, by the time I looked up and changed things around and sold off all my equipment and outsourced everything, because I just could not still give up Mommy Loves. It's just an amazing product, and I love it so much. It's like my first baby. It is my first baby, business baby at least, and I love it, and it is still amazing. So I couldn't give it up. I just outsourced everything. But that's basically iterating myself almost into bankruptcy. I had to pay off over $40,000 in debt. And the only way I could do that at the time in the recession with no business income was liquidate my 401k and all my savings and pay it all off, because I was not going to go bankrupt for this business. I just was not going to file bankruptcy. I had money in my 401k and savings, so why would I require society to pay off my debts? So I was not going to do that. So there you go. There's iteration the wrong way, okay? I didn't talk to anybody, and I just stayed in my own head and tried to guess and basically panicked, all right? Now let's go into Parent Entrepreneur Power, okay? So I started that. That was actually the third business I started. The second one I won't even talk about because I shut it down, within probably less than a year. And that was helping people self-publish their books. And I mentioned this before. It just was obvious that's not a business I wanted to do. So now let's talk about Parent Entrepreneur Power. The podcast basically was all I had except consulting. People would come to me and ask me to consult them on building businesses. And I really, because I was so gun shy and so fearful and so, in my own head, basically self-destructive, I really did not feel confident at all that I could build a business after Mommy Loves. It just was so shocking to me. And so devastating to me in my own head, what I did. And so I really didn't have any confidence to do it. So I just basically did whatever anyone asked me to do. And that was usually consulting. They said, how did you do it? I showed them how to do it. I had a master schedule, a power schedule that I then helped people create their schedule with their kids and their businesses. And I consulted them on how to build a business. And I was thinking, of course, total, you know what I'm going to say, right? Yeah. Imposter syndrome, total imposter syndrome. Who in the world was I trying to consult anyone on how to build a business when I had mucked up Mommy Loves so badly? And obviously nowhere near as badly as I could have. There much worse that I could have done, but still that was in my head. So I basically just responded to what people needed from me when they would come to me and ask me to consult with them. I did a couple of things in marketing where I created a Power Parents Academy where I was teaching people, and I was drinking all the wonderful Kool-Aid of, hey, just put up an online course and people will come and buy it and all that kind of stuff. And of course that didn't work. So in terms of iterating, I wasn't strategic or directed or purposeful at all. All I did was wait for people to ask me to help them and tell me that they wanted to give me money for that expertise that I had, and then I would do that. And it was great, and I loved it, but it was not strategic, it was not directed, it was not purposeful, it was just basically letting everyone else decide where my business was going to go. So that's not really iterating either, right? I was not adapting, I was not asking any questions, trying to figure out what people needed. I just responded just was reactionary. And that business did not grow beyond six figures. So now we come to my current business that I just celebrated a year in building, and that is messenger funnels. And one of the things I need to point out, remember all the wonderful content marketing and people telling us all to build content, put out content, and that's your content marketing strategy. And that is a wonderful strategy. But with messenger funnels, I have not put out one piece of content. There's not a blog post at all on my website. I post some in a private group, a couple of private groups, and basically just share articles about artificial intelligence and chatbots on my Facebook page, Messenger Funnels, and just basically started my Twitter account with Messenger Funnels. So, content marketing is wonderful, but it has gotten me nowhere. I have done nothing with it because I haven't had to. Because basically, I almost made the same mistakes with messenger funnels as I did with Parent Entrepreneur Power. I basically just accepted the business that came to me. That's really how this whole thing started. I only went after the first few clients and then from there kept building relationships. I did not do cold calling or try and do cold calling outreach. I looked at my current relationships and tapped into those. And because I had built them already and given value to people, people recommended me and sent me clients. So it was, again, just responding to the market, responding to what people asked me to do. Now, fast forward to November of last year, of 2017, and that's when Kelly Garrett and I started the Marketing Futurist Summit. And that has been really an incredible catalyst. And that was the first thing that I did in messenger funnels to be strategic and purposeful. We had a specific goal in mind. And then I looked at that and translated that, and I had to come up for air basically and think about what strategy am I going to use? What am I going to do with this whole business? I'm not going to wait, say, 5 years, 4 years, however long I was just floating along in Parent Entrepreneur Power. But I'm going to be very strategic. I'm going to figure out what it is that people need from me, what I am qualified and love providing for my customers and my audience. And I am going to just double down on that. And I'm going to say no to everything else. And I'm telling you right now, I know you've heard this, and it is hard. It is stinking hard to say no. But the more you say no, the easier it gets. I'm serious. The more you say no thank you to the things that really do not serve your purpose and are not part of your mission and all those wonderful buzzwords that you've heard, the easier it gets. And the reason is because, and I see this all the time, now, after a year in messenger funnels and people are asking me for advice, I see people saying, well, I can also do web design. And so one person I had a conversation with, and she was going, well, do you need any graphic design? Do you need any web design work? What about copywriting? And she started listing all those other things. And she is a chatbot builder. She's a messenger marketer. And I had to stop and ask, why are you offering all those other services? Do you have other people offering them, or is it you? And she said, well, it's me, but I also have other people. And it was a classic sense of fear. Fear that if I don't say I do all these other things, I'm going to be too niched and people aren't going to pay me for that. And I'm going to chase people away. I'm going to miss business. I'm going to lose business. And I'm here to tell you one of my new mottos in life. Say it with me, please. Invite people to reject you. Seriously, it is the most freeing, wonderful thing I have ever done. Now, obviously, if you are a car salesman, you don't want to invite people to reject you, right? I mean, people walk onto your car lot and they're interested in your car. You're not going to invite them to reject you and say, nope, sorry, we're not your right car dealership. Maybe, Sam down the road, he's the guy you want to see. No, of course you're not going to do that. But in online business, in online marketing, or if your business is specialized, say you're a photographer or you sell a particular physical product, you can actually specialize and niche and be fine. much better, in fact, especially someone, like I said, web design, graphic design, copywriting, all those are wonderful things, but they are so general, and there are going to be very few clients, very few customers who come to you needing all those things. Most of them are going to need only one or two at the most. And then all those other services that you're trying to sell, then you're going to do those other services for other people who need a different one or two of those services that you listed. So you're constantly switching between those niches and trying to become an expert at them. And you just can't do that effectively. So I learned from my mistakes in PEP. I know better, and I double down on what I know well. So I've had people come to me when I say I know how to say no now. I have had people come to me and want me to create messenger bots, messenger funnels for them that are in either industries or are the copy that they want me to do or the funnel that they want me to do is against what I do best and against what I think messenger should be used for. For example, I had a guy come to me and want me to build an insurance bot. Okay, so you may not know me very well personally. I hate insurance. I absolutely hate it. I think it is awful. Don't even get me started on the healthcare situation in the United States right now. It is awful. I will just say that my family of 4, we pay out of pocket just to be privileged enough to have insurance, not to use it, but just to have it. We pay over $1,400 a month, $1,400 a month just to have insurance. Then when we go to the doctor, if we ever have to, luckily we don't, I'm pretty healthy, and so is the rest of the family. But if we go to the doctor, we have to pay full fare. We have to pay, if we're going to see a doctor, then it's not a car accident or something like that. I just have the flu. I have to pay over $150 per visit, in addition to the privilege of paying $1,400 a month. Okay, so that's why I say I better not get started. So insurance is not my gig. This person wanted me to just build an insurance bot, basically to pass through bodies. Okay, that's what it felt like. All he wanted to do was get leads into the bot, qualify them, and then collect their phone number and email and sell them to the actual insurance carrier. That's it. That's not a funnel. That's lead generation, and it's just bodies. It's just selling leads. These aren't people. You're not building relationships with them. You're just selling their information to the other side. That's not my gig. I'm not comfortable with that. So I happily can say no. Another one is a gentleman who wanted me to, again, package all my services up for his over 50,000 small businesses and how they would just need bots. And couldn't I just lower my prices a lot lower because 50,000 possible leads. And basically he wanted me, and he specifically said, I want to be like Walmart. Okay, no, I don't want to be like Walmart. I don't. That's not my market. I'm not going for mass market. I'm not going for any of that. I build relationships, not only with my prospects or in my bots. Okay, in the funnels that I build for my clients, I build relationships for them with their prospects. I also build relationships with my own clients, my own customers. So no, I'm not going to just look at 50,000 and get all starry-eyed with all the money I could make, which of course that's what he kept telling me. You could make millions. Well, thank you very much. That's wonderful. But along the way, I would lose who I am and I would lose my purpose, and so probably wouldn't make millions because it's not me, and I'm probably not the right person for that particular job. There are plenty of people, I'm sure, who would prefer that and want to do that and love it and are very good at it. That's not me. So I very happily said no. And of course, he was very derogatory, like I'm pretty stupid, and called me a few names and said, you're an idiot, and left. I'm like, gladly. I have no problem with that. I invite people to reject me. I invite them to give me the possibility to see whether we're really a fit, and not just because they're going to pay me money to build a bot. Okay, that is what I've learned with iteration. I know better now that I need to adapt my services not just for my clients and not just for my customers or my prospects or my audience, but also for myself. So that's also what iteration is about. So what I did was, first off, I'm no MBA type Definitely not. So I hired one. I got really open and excited about what I didn't know, and I embraced the uncomfortable. And now I've been able to build this steering wheel for my sparkly, new, fun, profitable rocket ship. All right, that's what you need to do. That's the difference between from 2003, when I started Mommy Loves, to 2008 with the recession, to 2013 when I started PEP. Actually, 14 was when we went live, but I started in 13. And then to 2017 with Messenger Funnels. Okay, that's the journey and the lessons that I learned along the way. But now what do you need to do based on that, I think, and what I've done to get to where I am, in order to iterate to the extent that you know you have a profitable product or service that people will pay for? Okay, obviously you've heard some of these things before, but I think I might add a few unique ones. Okay, number one, ask your audience, your customers, your prospects, what they need, what they like that you do, and what they don't like that you do. Most of us miss that third one, okay? What they need, what they like what you do, and what they don't like about what you do. It's very important to ask that third question. And you don't have to say it that way, obviously, but you can say it in a way that what could we do to improve on our services or our products? Ask that question. People will tell you. If you ask it nicely and you're humble, people will tell you. And you'll know the wackos that tell you stupid things that really aren't anything. But if you get more than one answer coming up repeatedly, then you pay attention. Okay? That's number one. Ask your audience. Number two, ask your staff, your employees, your contractors, the same questions. And again, that third one, we're most uncomfortable to ask, but it's just as important to ask the people helping you in your business, what can we do to improve? Very, very important. Okay? So that's what helps you look outside of your own head and what you think people need and what you think you do well, and actually find out through sampling, segmenting, the ask method, whatever you want to call it, really what you should be doing. Okay? So those are the two more data-driven things that you can do for iteration. The third one, you might be a little surprised. I want you to go with your gut. I knew in Mommy Loves that I was totally freaking out. Okay? I knew in Parent Entrepreneur Success, basically the website, and PEP, the consulting, that I was gun shy. I was scared. I wasn't taking control and being purposeful. And I know in Messenger Funnels that I am doing the right thing. I know the products and services that I'm offering and that I and my staff are offering are what people need because they keep coming to me and we keep getting amazing results. I can't wait to share them with you. I'm going to publish a very comprehensive case study for one of my clients and compare to what we used to do and what we're doing now. And you are going to be blown away. And I will definitely publish that. If you're not following me on messengerfunnels.com or Facebook/messengerfunnels, or Twitter, Messenger Funnel with no S because it's too many letters, somewhere, follow me. And I will share that with you. And it's going to be a comprehensive, no, I'm not selling anything. It's just going to be a comprehensive article, very specific case study showing exactly what we're doing for this particular client who is making over $150,000 a month. And we've increased her revenue over the last 8 weeks. We've increased it by 40% with the chatbots, with messenger marketing and messenger funnels. So, all right, follow me on those places and you'll be able to see that article because it's coming out soon, okay? But let me get back to my list. So what do you need to do? Ask your audience, number one. Number two, ask your staff. Number three, go with your gut. You know when something's not right and you know when something's really cool, right? Know and embrace your limits. That's number four. So my limit is I've reached my limit in business knowledge. With what I'm doing now and the staff that I'm managing and the day-to-day operations and building this steering wheel, being strategic, I reached my limit probably back, I'd say around September of last year, in terms of the speed that business was growing, I reached my limit. I didn't do anything about it until January of this year. I mean, really take action. I was asking people who I should hire, what coach, what mentor, all these different things. I looked at different groups and masterminds, but I knew I needed one person to just give me the facts, ma'am. Just give me the facts and take apart my business and tell me help me determine where I should go. And thank goodness I did that, because then that was number 4, know and embrace your limits. Number 5, hire those who don't have the same limits as you. Hire the people who have the expertise that is your limit. Okay? So what I did was I hired a business strategist, an incredible woman, and she has kicked my butt. Let me tell you, she has totally kicked my butt. She has done such an incredible, comprehensive survey of my business and where I should go and what I should do. So I definitely hired the right person who does not have the same limits as I do in business. All right? All right, so that was number 5. Number 6, please don't spend money you don't have to iterate your products or services. Unless you're going to go out and get venture capital and you're going to get investors and all those things, which is totally different, and there is no way I would be able to advise you in that. But if you're bootstrapping, if you're using and paying for your business based on the revenue that you generate, do not spend money you don't have to iterate your products and services. Unless you're getting a loan and you're going to do an improvement loan of some kind, or there are caveats to that, but you know where that's coming from, right? What I did with Mommy Loves. I just kept borrowing credit card money, which was awful, and credit card rates before the end of the recession were up into the high 30s, 39% I paid in interest. It was nuts. I can't, just even thinking about that pit in my stomach comes back, and it was awful. So I'm just telling you, don't spend money you don't have to iterate your products and services. You can do it without spending money, unless you're actually, you know what I mean. I'm not going to give any more caveats. Just don't spend money that you don't have. All right? So what you need to do to iterate, ask your audience, your customers, prospects, what they need, what they like that you do, and what they don't like that you do. Ask your staff, employees, contractors the same questions. Go with your gut. Trust your instincts. And you know when you're panicking, and you know when it's smooth sailing, and you know when you're comfortable and you need to start making yourself uncomfortable in order to grow. Know and embrace your limits. Hire those who don't have the same limits, and don't spend money you don't have. Really, clearly, that's how you can figure out what product or service you can provide that people will pay for. It's not just asking. You also started this business for a reason. You must have an understanding or an expertise in what it is you do. So trust that, and know that when you need to hire people, you will. All right? I hope that helps. I hope it gave you some clear ideas on what you can do to iterate. And next week, I'll be back to talk about how you can increase your profit by mastering your productivity and hacking those bad time habits. Okay, yes, I know I've done many episodes on this podcast about productivity, master schedule, power schedule, all those kinds of things, habits, time. But I'm telling you, those time habits are habits, and we need to break them. And I'm going to help you, hopefully, again, learn by the way that I've done it. And because by no means am I a saint and perfect at this, but you need to get better and better, little by little, baby steps, all that good stuff. But I'm telling you, that's the number one part of your profit that you can influence is that, and that is by using your time wisely. All right. So until next time, enjoy the journey. To get powered up for your day, just go to parentepower.com and listen to the over 200 episodes we have so far with amazing entrepreneurs just like you. It might just help you feel like a grown-up again.